Good morning, Breakfast Club family. This is Mark Stevens and our host, Joe Shue. Top of the morning to you. Welcome to the Breakfast Club. This is February 20th, first day of the week, 2015. Again, I'll say I hope you had an exciting day yesterday. I hope you got some things done. I hope you did some thinking. I hope that you are getting on board and engaging and working with your people and reviewing things, because guess what? I want you to think about something before I turn it over to Joe here. I want you to think about big things are coming your way. But guess what? You have to be ready. And, you know, it's not where you are next week. It's not where you are next month. Because what we want you to do, and Joe, I'm quite sure, is going to touch on that, is focus on the place you will be in 1 year's time. You know why? That should drive your passion, and it should also drive your desire and persistence. So with that being said, good morning, Joe. Victor, how you doing?
Morning, Mark. Good morning, Morning, Victor.
Good morning.
Let me address something before we move on, and that is yesterday I did a mailing out to everyone. I did it again last night, and which also includes myself, before I blind carbon copy everyone. And after hours later, I realized I never got that email, so I did it again, never got the email. At 9:20 last night Eastern, I did it again, never got the email, so I spoke with Shelley, who also never got it, Mark, who never got it, and so then I resent it without a picture that was on there, which was of Jim Rohn. And when I did that and did a test, it went out immediately, and I got it, and Shelley got it, and so there must have been a problem, and that's what happened Tuesday as well. I didn't realize that. So for those of you who actually tried or went to or was going to go to last night regarding the director class, my apologies. But I've taken that picture off. Somehow something's embedded in that picture that's creating a problem on my end with Earthlink. I don't know why, but it is. So sorry about that. We'll see you Tuesday and go over the stuff we need to go over. Okay, so that being said, let me give you the talking point of the day, and it is about marketing your business and finding the interested people. Look, there's so many people out here trying to find the right way, the best way. And I'm not really sure there is a best way to market your business, because you have to do everything. The best way for you may not be the best way for me. But you have to keep in mind there are several things you have to do when you're in business to tell others that you are in business, to create transactions. And that applies to any business, brick and mortar, online, affiliate marketing, network marketing. Obviously, there's nothing different. The foundation is that you must talk and connect with people. And there are so many people out there that are teaching different ways. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with internet marketing and learning social media and learning how to send emails and buying leads and sending emails and learning how to communicate with people. But that's really the key to marketing. I don't care what anybody tells you. I don't care what people are teaching you. I don't care what class is available. What's most important foundationally is communicating and connecting to people. How you do it is the second part of it. But what you must learn to do, which I see very few people teaching, is how to actually make a phone call, a connection. I'm not talking about an email, answering something, and somebody joining your company. That's not connecting. Connecting is that phone call. It's that voice-to-voice connection where they can discover what you sound like, how you conduct yourself. And again, I don't care what people are teaching you out there. I don't care whether it's social media or voice broadcasting. That's not the connection. And so marketing your business is not one thing. It's not the only way to pick up the phone and hand somebody a message, or to send them an email, or to do a phone blast, a voice broadcast, or go through social media groups and finding people. Look, foundationally, we teach the right thing, and that is you must learn to communicate. Mark and I wanted to talk about that today. We talked to Victor yesterday right after the call and had a little session with things that I wanted to learn and see certain things that he does and that people do out there. And I still want to learn these things. That's what I want to do because I believe in everything. So that's the memo. You've got to do everything to make this work. One thing is not going to make it work. You may be doing voice broadcasts and getting people to push a button to listen to get more. That's one thing. You might be doing emails and get people to click on through and say, I'm interested, and fill out a capture page. That's only part of it. You might get people to respond on social media. That's only part of it. The foundation of building a house is pouring that foundation, building the foundation so the house is strong. And what we believe in is communication, meaning learning how to talk, learning how to answer questions, learning how to ask questions, learning how to move your customer to the next step, your prospect, your potential affiliate or potential partner, learning how to get them to the next step. When you make that phone call is the foundation for it all. And we wanted to talk about this today, so that is the memo on the talking points. Learn how to connect properly. So with that, Mark, let's turn it back over to you. We'll have this discussion about this. I know you have things to say about it, but that's our memo today, so let's talk about it.
Okay, now I'm unmuted. I muted myself. As we know, marketing is what we do to get our information in front of people, and it's very pertinent to our business. But it really matters how you do it, and the steps that you do it, the tools that you use, and all these things. And the thing about it is that you can have the greatest product in the world, and I think we do, but until you're able to connect with someone in the proper way, and once you connect with them, to be able to discuss what you want them to do, what you're offering, and all of that, you're really not in business. You can put up walls, your brick and mortar and whatever, but without the proper communication, even when your customers come into your establishment and they ask you questions, you have to know how to answer those questions that will get them interested in what you're doing and interested in your product and what you're selling or whatever. So it's very important how you do that. And like I said, remember, anything from this point on that I talk about, what I have in the back and the front and the side of my mind is our business presentation. Now, that is a professional business presentation, therefore it has to have a professional communication component to it. That's why I stress, and I want to make this clear, I stress the communication class for this reason. Not because you have to pay for it, because that's not what it's about. What it's about is knowing how to properly communicate your business to other people, because there are some strong people out there. Matter of fact, I got an email one day, and the guy wrote in the email, "Don't give me all of that, just tell me A, B, and C, because I'm a very bright person." Now, in order to communicate with that person, I have to know the communication class, Because if not, that individual could eat me alive. And that's the same thing that we all face. It doesn't matter how long we've been doing it or whatever. The point is that sometimes you can forget something. But the way that you don't do that is that you do the same thing every day. You do what works. The communication, what you learned in the foundation class, has been working for over 20 years. It still works today. Whether you're online, offline, sideline, in person, it doesn't matter. It still works. Now, I told Joe this yesterday. I've always opposed social media for this reason. I thought it was you putting too much personal business out there and the things that could happen to you. Now, but I also have told you that you always have to keep your patent office open and your mind open, because things change, and without change, there's no progress. So whether I like social media or not, I have to learn it. But it still doesn't change what I do. I do my best work, person to person. I'm in your face. I'm talking to you. I'm communicating, connecting with you, and we're going back and forth, and we're looking in each other's eyes, and I'm answering the questions the communication way. That's what I love to do. I love being up at 6 in the morning in my pajamas, and I do all the necessary things that I need to do by about 9 or 10 o'clock. Really, I would prefer to be out of the house by then, but I do the Breakfast Club. I love the Breakfast Club. I love you. We want to continually help you. But after that, my plans is being out the door, because I am a belly-to-belly person. I will still learn social media, because what Victor taught us yesterday was very pertinent and very good information. And he still is evolving in that as well. So we all need to learn that, because as Joe said a little while ago, we have to use everything. Everything has to be, every component has to be there. Now,
so let me ask you this question, Mark. When somebody comes into your business, what do you really want? I know we've heard this many times, but let's because for me, again, connecting is not making a phone call and getting a voice on the other end. That's not connecting to me. You know, that's communicating and finding the interested party, you know, but connecting to me is the being able to find that interested party and then being able to answer and ask questions to find out, are we moving forward? So what do you want people to do when they come in, when they say to you, I need some more information, I've just seen the presentation, and you know what, I'm interested. And then let's just say there's a discussion that goes on that says, yes, let's get you registered and let's get you into a, management training is really what it is when you come in. And I think people forget that they come in and they say, okay, now do this and go get get a package, and then you start and you go talk to people. To me, that's not it. That's not connecting to someone. So what do you want them to do when they come in?
Well, first of all, when they come in, and they're coming in looking for answers. And the thing is they're looking for service. In other words, and you have to connect with them and understand what they want, because we're there for service. We're there to answer their questions properly, and we're there just like in the director's class, just like when you're in the director role. Your job is to answer that person's questions and move them to registration. That is your job. Answer their questions, move them to registration. But guess what? There's another component. You need to get them to act. That's just the first step. So when somebody comes, let me put it this way, Joe, when somebody comes into my store and I get them, I answer their questions, I'm ready to be of service. Okay, my next point is this. If they're the type of person that I want to work with, and if they're willing to do, remember the question, with a little bit of coaching and training and a lot of help, do you think you can operate a successful business without company working from home? Yes, I can do that. Okay, if you can do that, the next step is you need to get in the communication class. Because guess what? You want to, when you go in a store and you buy something, you want to use it right away. You want to wear it right away. You want to taste it right away. Anything, you want to do it right away. Well, guess what? You have to be in a position to do that. So coming into our arena, we have to get you ready to do business right away. 24, 48 hours. That's to me right away. Okay, well, the first thing you need to do is get tools right. Why? Because you have to have a system. Because guess what? We're going to teach you how to bring in other people, locations. You
Mark,
gotta know how to do that. Go ahead.
presentation is as well. It's in Tools Rock, right? I mean, that's where it is. That's the only way you're going to get it.
Yes.
Let me say this. Let me just put this out there for those listening and the ability to chat. In other words, write it. It is set for private right now just because. It's just we don't want all that communication going on initially. If you need to say something, say it to us. But I noticed there are a lot of people on this call who have been through the foundational class. Some people, maybe don't always come live to the Breakfast Club, but we know they listen to it afterwards. So, but here's my question to you. Just so other people can understand what we're talking about here today, why that's foundation. Look, you can't build a house, Mark, by starting with the outside walls. You got to build the foundation. I don't care if you're setting your house on a slab or you're digging it so you're putting either cinder block or a poured cement or concrete wall up. You got to have a foundation to sit it on so that it's strong. The foundation here is two things. It's the foundational class. It's the ability to handle the prospect and know who you are when you're handling that prospect. So if you've been through the class, put some comments up there. It doesn't have to be a paragraph, but why did you, after you took the class, what happened to you? What happened for you? What do you think about the class? And we'll put up some, just show a few of you who've probably never been there. We always get people to say, Joe, after the call, they send emails, say, Joe, tell me about that foundational class. I hear people talking about it. Now, we have somebody, let me see if she's on the call here today, that just took the class the other night. And I had a wonderful conversation with her afterwards, after both classes. But put a couple comments up there. Why do you think it's important? It's not just me and Mark talking about this. As I can pull out testimonial after testimonial that we have in our archives to tell you. We have a person who came back and paid so many times that I now have granted her unlimited. Anytime she wants that class, she can have it. And that's Andrea, and thank you, Andrea. Why? She kept learning. She kept wanting to learn, Mark. You remember Andrea Hanfus.
Right.
I mean, she's a phenomenal student and now a teacher. Why? Because she did exactly what you do now, Mark. She goes to the class. You listen to the presentation all the time. Mark's been through the class probably more than anybody on this call because he shows up and teaches on that class now. But you know what? You should be in this class. I mean, I'm telling you, Andrea came back the first time she took it every single time afterwards. And participated. And I can tell you, in the beginning, she would tell you, not only was she hesitant to take the class, but after the first one and saying, I see it, but I'm still so uncomfortable and I don't know how to talk and questions have come up and I'm still nervous. I can tell you right now, she could handle my phone calls any day she wanted to. If I had a third party, three-way, or said, hey, here's some things I want you to call, and no doubt in my mind that Andrea could handle that call. But I can tell you, I mean, I'm sure there's other people on here, but I know because of her participation, right? Tell me and I'll hear, show me and I'll see, get me involved, I'll understand. She got involved and she understands. Now, people that got involved with the class, Mark, now they understand.
Yes.
Now they understand. And that's exactly what Michelle did the other night. I mean, it was a great conversation afterwards. There was a revelation after the class with things like, oh my gosh, that's what I was looking for. I can't believe, and I never heard, or things like that. So I don't know if we have anybody chatting in there that in fact, I don't see anybody putting up any notes in here. Do you?
Not yet, no. Well, Joe, let me say this too, because when you talk about the foundation, my question to the family is simply this too: if you were out in the street, you were in the bank, you were in the grocery store, shopping center, doesn't matter, and you just run into somebody and you start up a conversation, and you're smiling or whatever, and they may say, you look familiar or anything like that, or what do you do? What's going to be your answer? Can you remember what you learned in the foundational class that you can use in that conversation to get somebody interested in your business? Because guess what? Remember a few weeks ago I told you that a lot of the population now is looking for something else to do because they can't make ends meet anymore. They're looking for a second income. They're looking for a third and a fourth income. And so my point is, can you use what you learned in the foundational class, not just on the phone when you have a prospect like that, but when you're out in the street and you meet somebody for the first time? Can you hold that conversation? Can you connect? It's a very important question, John.
Yeah, let me read this from, I'm going to give her a name, Mrs. Hortensia, and in plain words, more confidence to speak to people. Let me tell you something. She just took the class, I think maybe the second time. I think she was in it last year and took it again the other day. And I think it was her, but maybe it wasn't. Either way, I had a conversation with her the other day because I was helping her with her back office. And, when we got done, I actually made a little apology to her. I said, look, I'm sorry for being so tough. She said, no. Don't worry about that. I know that you can be tough because you want it right. I don't just get on a call. If you call me and say to me, Joe, how do I say this when somebody, I said, well, go to your notes. Were you in the class, right? Well, get your notes out. Let's talk about it. I don't just give the answer. I make you give the answer. Well, how do I put that in the back office? What I mean, look, we went through a whole series of things with moving, things over from one CRM to contact manager, CMR, and I just really, I'm not easy when it comes to that because I want people to answer their own questions. And so, although she said, look, that's how I learn best. I know that you can be tough, but you're a good teacher with that, and I appreciate that you do that. I'm not always comfortable, Mark, when I'm talking to people and maybe getting frustrated with them not knowing the answer or something. I'm not always good with that. I know that. And I guess I just expect people to go out and study this stuff and get it right the first time. And I know that's wrong. I know it takes time and energy, and Andrea is the perfect example of that and the perfect student. There's a couple of other people. I haven't even read this. I just saw it come up here. Here's Cynthia. This class teaches the 5 parts of any conversation, which prepares you to be in control of the conversation. It helps you know who you are in the conversation and provides confidence as you handle that conversation. I don't know if I can see the rest. Let's see. Yeah, thanks, Cynthia. You're right. And how about Bob? Now, this is a teacher. I didn't even read this, so sometimes be careful what you read. People are always looking to find third-party verification. All the third-party three-way, we're scared before. With the brilliance of the director scenario, third-party calls are now both highly functional and training to the new person. They now know that they can do calls without pressure. Look, this is also a teacher, Bob Coons. I mean, was not only a great student, but he's a great leader. I know that from talking to him and wanting to get it right and working with the leads and so on. Mark, you can handle some of these. There's stuff in here you want to read, but I wanted people to see. Look, marketing is what you do to get your information in front, but it can't end there. And for most people, that's where it ends. And maybe connecting, talking to them and getting them registered, but that's where it ends. Because you're not moving your people forward. Telling them to go buy a package and to go to a webinar and go listen to this recording is not going to do it for you. Go look at all your blue dots, or go see what percentage of people actually do something when you bring them aboard. And you will see that what's being taught in this industry does not work most of the time. When I say that, I'm not saying that the methods of finding people doesn't work. It certainly works. Social media works when you talk about connecting with, or at least communicating with people. It's the connection. It's the finding out where that person is. That's why what Mark mentioned, we asked them in that director, conversation, with training, coaching, a lot of support. Little training, a lot of support, and you see yourself doing what it takes to have a successful business here with our company. Can you do that? Yep, I can do it. Then you're ready. You're ready for what? You're ready to go into management training. You're ready to come in. You're ready to get your affiliate handbook, your checklist, and your instructions how to start communicating with people. You need a message. You need a message to send out to people. You can select your own. There's plenty of people that provide videos and so on. The reason we use TSR is because it has an entire program. We developed the training system in TSR. That's the reason we use TSR, is because we get the support. We get to create our own marketing funnels. In other words, marketing websites that people can look at, but they can't just look at them. They have to have capture information there, a way to come back to you and fill it out, and your contact manager keep track of it for you. That's the difference between having a website to send to somebody and having a contact manager with a website to send somebody. You can't just send them to your Carrot Bar's homepage website. That does not work. That's not what it's for. That's an informational piece when you get here to learn what your company is about. That's not a marketing piece. Shouldn't be used for that.
And Joe, look what our youngest businessman says. He says, after the first time I took the class, I realized that communication is so... wait a minute, my screen jumped on me. Okay, let me find it again. Hold on one. Okay. After the first time I took the class, I realized that the communication is so important in this business arena. I've taken the class multiple times because I want and need to learn this terminology. Now every time I speak with someone on the phone, I am constantly thinking about the conversation we are having and where it's heading. Now I feel more confident that as soon as I get the scripts down like second nature, I will succeed in this business. And isn't that what we're trying all to do? Succeed in this business.
Yep.
You gotta have the tools. You gotta have the foundation. You have to know how to be a connector to provide the service to the people.
Here's Gloria. Most people do not know how to talk to people. We learn exactly, here's the key, who we are, what to do and what to say, and how to move a person to a director. I mean, that's the foundation right there. She summed it up perfectly. First, who you are. You learn who you are on the other end of that. Not who they are, who you are. And learn what to say, how to say it, and how to move a person over to a director. That's your job. That's it. You're at the front desk, and you're not going to answer everything there is to be asked here and everything to know from a prospect. It's your job to move them to somebody who will validate what this company is about and find out if you are a fit for us. Are you a fit for us, Mr. or Mrs. Prospect, Miss or Mr. Prospect? Are you a fit for us? Do we really want to work and spend our time with you? Because we spend so much time, Mark, with people who do nothing. And we spend time with them teaching them, and now do this and do that and do a voice broadcast. But they still don't know how to talk to anybody, and that's what the problem is. They're going to walk around and learn, yeah, okay, I can do this, I can send emails, but what happens when I got to pick up that phone? What really happens in your mind? And most people get afraid. I promise you, there are so many people and even leaders in here that if we were on the other end of the phone as a prospect, that I think, knowing what they should be doing and connecting or communicating, having a conversation with them, I think they'd get stumped. I promise you. I mean, I've done it in the past and spoken to people, called different people back from other companies that I knew, and they're stumped completely. They don't know how to really move you forward because they don't know who they are in that conversation. Sitting there telling people all about, the stocks and why gold is more important. Everybody knows that. Nobody needs to hear that now gold is the way to do it, right? I mean, everybody knows that there isn't one person I know that would turn down gold and that they don't know that gold is the most important, way to secure your future. Everybody knows, or everybody would want gold. There isn't one person that wouldn't want gold in their pocket. So we all know that's true. Mark, I'm going to turn this over to you because of what I told you earlier. So I'm going to close my end of this out and say thanks, everybody, and over to you, Mark, and we'll see you. This is the beginning of our week. So have fun, everybody. See you, Mark.
Okay, Joe. Again, it's very important that we do this properly, and especially with the presentation that we put together. Because, when you think about the 5 parts of the conversation which someone mentioned earlier, the introduction, the reason that I call, what I want you to do, you set an appointment and you tie it down. The other thing that's very important that you have to remember is what we call QAQ, question, answer, question. You want to always, after you answer somebody's question, you want to leave it with a question for a couple reasons. You maintain the control of the conversation and everything, and they can leave their questions basically for the director. So that's what we're talking about, to do it in the professional way, because it's very important. First of all, to save you a lot of time. It will save you a lot of embarrassment, because guess what? Some people, they will not engage with you if they feel you don't know what you're talking about. And then you're going to get some people that think they know more than you, and they probably don't, but they think that, and they're going to test you on that. So all we're saying is take what you've learned in the class, put it to use, and do it in the proper manner. I think what I'm going to do now, let me share the messages, the chat. So now if you still want to put other questions in there, you can see what people are asking, what they're saying. Because, again, it's very important. And let me see if somebody else in there that we didn't get to that. Okay. Okay, we pretty much covered all the ones that are in here so far. We still got a few minutes. We're 5 minutes past the bottom of the hour. But that's basically the message for the day, and I still want to reiterate that, big things are really coming your way this year. It really is. And you can make that happen for yourself. And again, like I said, don't let anybody really make you feel uncomfortable. Don't let anyone make you or try to make you do what you don't want to do. You have to work outside of the box a lot, but you still want to be in your comfort zone. Everybody is not alike. Everybody can't do the same thing. What you feel that's comfortable for you to do, that's what you have to do. And remember, it's your business. We can only make suggestions. We can only share what we do, what's working for us, what we feel will work for you. In other words, we make the recommendations, but guess what? You make the decisions. You make the decisions. You put up your money to get in this business. You put up your money to have your brick and mortar from your home in the way that you want to, so you do that. But we do know things that work, and I've told Joe that I have seen out there, because I get 1 million emails a day, and I have certain people that I connect with every day. And the gurus out there are now changing their tune. They're now realizing that for 50 or 60 years, what they've been telling people and showing people has not worked. And that's why we have this 97% tile thing, where 97% of the people don't make money, or they're not making any money. They're frustrated. But now they're saying, what we're taught is wrong. We have to change. Now they have to come up with different answers. We've known it all the time. Joe and I have known this all the time. And I always encourage him, Joe, look, we have to make this change. We're not going to be liked. We're not going to be agreed with, but we will help a lot of people. And that's my bottom line of helping a lot of people, and especially those that come to the Breakfast Club and everything. And like I said, don't worry about, where you are next week, next month, but worry about where you're going to be a year from now and work towards that. Like Jim Rome said, give it a year. Give it a year. And I happen to believe that if you do that, by the end of 2015, you will be smiling all the way to the bank, and you will have touched a lot of lives and helped free a lot of people. And then another question that I have for people are you free? Let me tell you something. When you see people driving that Mercedes, living in that big house, going to the bank, guess what? They're not necessarily free. Because, first of all, if you owe anybody any money, you're not free. And then the thing is that if they're struggling to pay for that Mercedes, if they're struggling to pay for that house note and everything, they're not free. Struggle is not freedom. Never has been, never will be. But guess what? If you want to live a better quality of life, you have to do this. You have to create for yourself a lifestyle by design. And the best way to do that is by helping other people. Create yourself a lifestyle by design where you're time free, where you're financially free, and you're helping other people. And like I said, the best way to make money is to help somebody else make it first. That's the best way. And the best way to do that is you have to be able to communicate. And in order to do that, you have to become a connector. That's the importance of the foundational class. So if anybody has any other questions, before we close out, if you have any other comments, I'm going to give you a few minutes to put it in the box and share it with everybody. Even now, we still don't have all the answers because this is evolving all the time, and it evolves with your help. Joe doesn't know everything, and I certainly don't know everything. I'm always looking to learn from people like Victor and other people as well. I still look to learn from Brian Frazier, Cecil Piper. Those are people that I connect with because they have a lot of knowledge. I don't know everything, and I learn from them all the time. And then when I do, I share it with you. There are other people that I know that they don't even know that I know, that I share with them. And I'm able to bring things back to you to say, look, consider this. I don't argue with people. Arguments are negative energy. I don't say, no, you're not right. No, I say, look, this is how I do it. I'll say, Victor, I beg to differ with you. Now, doesn't that sound better? I beg to differ with you than to say, Victor, you are wrong. You are full of hot air. You don't know what the heck you're talking about. No, I don't do that. I want what Victor has to offer, so I say, Victor, I beg to differ with you. And then I say, consider this. I don't say this is the way, this is the way. I say, no, consider this. So what I'm saying is that consider what I'm telling you. And if you like it, use it. If not, throw it in file 13 because that's your right. I tell you what works for me. I don't like confrontation. I like having fun. And that's how I connect with people, and that's how I deal with them. I smile, I deal with them, and I don't tell them they're full of hot air all the time. I tell them I beg to differ. I say, would you consider this? And then guess what? We all want to be free. That's what it's about. Having your freedom, having your sovereignty, having your financial freedom, that you're not a slave. You're not a slave to the banking system. You're not a slave to things that tie you down. You want to be free. You want to be like the birds, fly all around, enjoy yourself. And that's what this is all about. This is what we're working towards. We're working to get our own financial and time freedom. And like I said, I like the first 4 to 5 hours in the day. I'm in my pajamas. I'm doing my work. I get it all ready. And then I'm ready to fly the coop. I'm ready to go outside and be free and fly and talk to people and help change lives and help bring in new people into the fold. Because guess what? Some people out there don't even know that they're slaves. They think because they have this, that, and the other, that they're free, and then when adversity comes, they don't know what to do. But if you learn it from the beginning, if you learn the concepts, if you learn the systems and things that you have that you can offer to people, you can be free and you can get them free too. The more people you get free, the freer you'll get. And that's what it's all about. I've checked the chat box. I don't see any other comments, any other questions. So with that being said, peace and blessings to you. Let's use what we've learned. Let's teach other people. Let's be great directors and great directors in training and great affiliates. And let's build this Karatbar company as we build our own company. Remember, Karatbars is one of the companies that we're using, but you're your own company. You are your own company. How do you want to build your company? How do you want to grow your company? How do you want your company to look to the public? How do you want your company to look to your friends and your families and the people that you meet? How do you want that to happen? Well, it's the way that you do and conduct your business. You want to conduct it with integrity. You want to conduct it having fun. Make it fun. Don't make it like a job. A lot of people have a job, and that's why we call it just over broke, and then the job hurts them so much they're ready to jump off a bridge. J-O-B, job. Who wants to jump off the bridge? I want to enjoy what I do, and that's just why I don't work for corporate America. I don't work in corporate America. I do work sort of for corporate America because Karatbars is a corporation. But they're a corporation that I like to connect with and work with because they have what I want to do. I'm a financial person. Karatbars is a financial instrument of getting people free, protecting their assets, keeping them above inflation. You know all of this. I'm talking to the choir. But that's the way that you have to interact with people. You have to let them know, look, that paper in your pocket is losing value every day. Who do you know will be interested in a career change for the right money? We're in a major expansion. We're looking for people who want to be six-figure income earners. That's how you have to talk to people. And guess what? They'll listen if you talk to them that way. But if they feel like you're trying to scam them or this or that or whatever, they're not going to listen to you. That's all we're saying. So with that being said, peace and blessings to you. Go out, make it a great day. Make it a great first day of the week. Get ready for your next week. And, touch somebody. Let them know what you have. Let them know that you can help them improve if they so desire. Change your community. Change your city. Change your state. Most of all, help us change the world. The world is hurting. But guess what? We got something for the wounds. But we have to share it with them. But guess what? We must first be the change in us as we want to see in our communities, cities, states, and world. So with that being said, this is Mark Stevens, our host, Joe Shute, saying make it a great day, everybody. We love you. Peace and blessings to you. Let's go out and let's make this next year the best year of our life. And we can do that by helping each other and helping somebody else. So peace and blessings to you. Make it a great day. And we will see you back here Monday morning on the Breakfast Club. Make it a great day, everybody. Now, let me say this for those of you that are still with us. Joe has to be the one to close this, and he's not back yet. So what you have to do is just click off, and you can get on with your day. Peace and blessings to you. So when Joe gets back, he will be able to close out the broadcast, and then a little bit later, you will be able to get the broadcast that you can look at it again, and you can share with all of the people that you want to share it with.
Mark, I'm assuming we're done the broadcast?
Yes, we're done.